Hi guys, and welcome to today's movie review video, which is going to be slightly different than I would normally do it. Normally I would pick a movie and then review it and then put it up, and I haven't really been doing that properly. Main reason being my day job takes center stage sometimes, and I can't always film my reviews, and you've seen a couple of reviews in the car and stuff like that, and so I can just do them as and when. Editing them and getting them out during when it's relevant is a different matter. So I decided to do like a 3-month review of all the movies that had come up in like the first 3 months, but then I decided to do a 6-month review instead. So this is it, and I'm actually going to use my iPad to actually go through some of these, because I did not realize I had watched 37 films at the cinema since January. So here goes. Right, okay, so one thing I must say is that not all the movies that I watched came out in the rest of the world. So if you think, hold on, that movie came out in 2018, or it came out, or it hasn't come out yet, chances are it will be around in your part of the world at some point. But this is what was available to me, and this is what I watched. There were a few movies that I missed watching at the cinema. There's one I've got here, so shall we start with that first? There's a movie called Vice, which I think came out in 2018 in the US, but here it came out in February or early January. I totally missed it, and I did actually get to watch it, and I watched it at on the airplane. Actually, I watched it on the airplane. I don't know if I was going to Indonesia or if I was going to Brazil, but one of those places I actually saw the movie, and it was brilliant. So I'm gonna just asterisk that one first, and you can look it up yourselves. But it's a movie about George W. Bush and Dick Cheney getting into power, and I'll just leave it at that. So the first proper movie that I watched in 2019, these are all in random orders, by the way. It's because I just got the list off Wikipedia, and just cut out the ones that I didn't have or I didn't watch, and I just kept the movies that I did. So welcome to Marwen, starring Steve Carell. This was an interesting movie. I really wanted to do a review about it, but I'm not sure if I actually got around to it. I think I may have filmed something, but I can't find the footage. So this movie is about Steve Carell's character, who's a bit of a slow character, autism, or a mild case or a severe case. So I don't know how you would judge that. But it is quite interesting because the way the movie was shot was brilliant, because it had little like town people, I don't know the best way to describe it, toys. So he would take toys, create like a town, and take pictures of them and whatnot, like a model railway kind of a thing. And the movie was actually really good, and you saw different sides of how a person with disabilities would actually be treated in the world, and just his story. And it was actually based on a true story, which is amazing, and I really loved it. Okay, so just before I continue, I'm doing all of this from memory, so if I get a few of the facts wrong, I do apologize. But check out all of these movies, and I'll tell you the ones that are good, and I'll tell you the ones that I didn't really like. So Welcome to Marwen is good. especially if you like Steve Carell. He does a lot of different things, and I like what he does. He's got a good skill set, and I think he's a really good actor. So the next one on this is The Mule, which I did a review for. I will link it down there or up there somewhere for you, and you can watch the review for that. But I like that. That was a really good Clint Eastwood movie. Second Act, that's another one that I did actually get around to doing a review for. That was a good movie. Watch that. Green Book was an amazing movie. Watch that. Instant Family, another one that I did a review for. Amazing. Watch that. Stan and Ollie, I did a review for that. Brilliant. Watch it. That one actually made me cry a little. So the next one would be The Upside, which I also did a review for, and that was a surprise movie for me. I really enjoyed it, and it was really good on so many different levels: comedy, seriousness, and what have you. It was just it was a good find. It was like when I found by accident The Hangover, and I thought, wow, that's such a cool movie. It's not in the same vein as The Hangover, but The Upside is actually really, really good. It's a heartwarming tale, and again, based on a true story. Next comes Escape Room. So I liked the idea of this movie, and I was so intrigued to see how they would pull it off, and it turned out to be another one of these group horror movies. It was kind of like the last Saw movie. I think it was Saw. Yeah, the last Saw movie. It was very similar to that. What I can say about it is I've actually done a escape room, and imagine if I had gone through what they went through in that movie. But the movie actually set up a sequel. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but it's on the cards, I guess. But it's just one of those things where it might not happen. I personally like this movie. It was a good waste of a couple of hours, and you're not going to be amazed by it, but you will actually enjoy some of the creative ways that you can lose the game and potentially die. Okay, so next we have A Dog's Journey. Oh my god, so I watched A Dog's Purpose, and I really, really loved that movie. It did make me cry. I'm not a dog lover, but I did actually really like this movie. And then when the sequel, which is A Dog's Journey, came along, it just ticked the boxes again, and it was really good. The emotional aspect of it was still there. They carried on the story from the first movie, which was really good, because I didn't think they would have anything else to do. But Bailey, 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 that's what I'm gonna say. Oh gosh. Okay. So the next movie was Glass. So this is M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong's third movie in the Unbreakable series of movies. Now, I love Unbreakable. It was interesting. It was amazing. I remember watching it at the cinema. I didn't watch the second one. The second one was split, and it was just one of these movies that came along and pretended it was its own movie, but it tied back into Unbreakable, and that was just interesting. So I had to go and watch that movie first, and then watch Glass, and yeah, it was really good. I liked it. There wasn't much Mr. Glass in it. So Samuel L. Jackson's character is obviously Mr. Glass, and he wasn't in it that much. It was great to see Bruce Willis back, and the kid who played his son was really good. They used the same character again, which was amazing. Yeah, so James McAvoy just stole the show on this one. So he was the guy or the main character in Split, and the movie about Glass is about bringing them to Glass, no, Split and Unbreakable characters together, and Mr. Glass was just orchestrating it all, and it was a bit silly, but you know, it worked for the movie. Like I say, James McAvoy smashed it again, and yeah, it's just the end of the movie was just a bit weird. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but there is a bit of a twist, and it's not a twist that I was expecting, but it's not a twist that I actually wanted anyway either, because it doesn't really make sense. So if there is another movie, I may skip it, I may not. Okay, so let's try and go down to the next movie, which is The Kid Who Would Be King. Okay, so this is an Arthurian legend slash modernization, and it's actually really good. I really enjoyed it. It's based in the UK, obviously, with English actors, even Peter? Who's Peter? Even Patrick Stewart comes along and plays Merlin, or the older version of Merlin. But the best version of Merlin in the movie was the kid, or the teenager version of Merlin. He was brilliant. I'm not really sure now what I actually think is going to happen, if there's going to be a sequel or not, but it was a really good movie. It was just like a proper kids movie, just all done for laughs, but it wasn't a kids movie where they go to camp like in the States. It was just a kids movie where they had to essentially defend the world and their school, basically at the school. So it was all set pretty much in and around the city of where they were living, and there's a few bits done where they say King Arthur went to rest before he died, and yeah, the movie was good. It was such an amazing feeling to see, like, British actors running around doing like swashbuckly things, and they were just kids, and it felt really good. It wasn't like it felt fresh. Let me just say that it felt fresh. That's probably the best way to explain it, and I would really recommend that movie as well. Okay, so this iPad has decided to go to sleep all of a sudden. Come on. Alright, okay, so now... Okay, Lego Movie 2. I did watch it, but I fell asleep towards the end of it, so I'm not too sure exactly what happened. So, from what I saw, it was really good, but not as good as the first. So... I need to watch it again, so you should watch it again too, and well, I should watch it again, and you should watch it too. Okay, right. So next we have What Men Want. Again, that one I've done a video for, and I really like that movie, and you should go watch it. I was a fan of the original What Women Want with Mel Gibson, so yeah, it was a good take on it. Right, okay, so the next movie is Cold Pursuit, starring Liam Neeson. Now, I really like this movie. I like Liam Neeson anyway, even before his Taken days. And I thought it was a good, I don't know, I'd call it a dark comedy, to be honest with you. It was good, a bit action-packed, and it's just about a dad trying to find out who killed his son, and then he goes after the people. And yeah, it's pretty good, in the same vein as Taken, I would say, in some respects. The only difference is that it's all done. I think it was in Alaska, where it's just basically snow everywhere, and he's one of these snow plowmen that go around clearing out the snow. And yeah, it was really good. It was good to see that kind of side of things, of like what people do in snowy conditions and how they get about, and you know, that side of it was good. It was also good that there was a lot of snow around, because I guess you could hide a lot of bodies that way. I'm not spoiling anything, by the way, but go and watch it, you'll love it. So the next movie is Fighting With My Family. So this is a movie produced by The Rock, the Dwayne Johnson, or the Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I think I got that right. And that's his production company producing this movie based on somebody that hasn't really been in the WWE that very long, but it was their rise to fame to the WWE, and it was an interesting movie. It was really good to see what Paige, or the person that it's about, Paige, was going through to get to WWE. And WWE, if you don't understand, it's WWF, or the World Wrestling Federation, or what, that's what they were. It was a good movie. A lot of laughs, a lot of soul searching that was going on in it. It was really nice to see WWE exposing themselves like that, because they are quite like closed in. So I'm not going to spoil that movie, but it's very good. You need to go and watch that. Oh gosh, okay, so here we come to the elephant in the room. No, there's no elephant in the room. So it's Captain Marvel. Where should I start with Captain Marvel? I was 20 minutes late for Captain Marvel. I watched the movie. It was good. It wasn't great. I never expected it to be great, to be honest with you. They made her too powerful towards the end. Nick Fury's eye, I'm really annoyed about, because in one of the other movies, he said that a friend that he trusted basically got him blind, and but it turns out it's an actual cat that did it. Well, a space cat, but a cat nonetheless. Yeah, so there were some bits that I didn't like in it, but I'm glad that they brought in the Skrulls and the Kree, and we're going to see some funky stuff for phase 4 and 5, I reckon. Yeah, so Captain Marvel, it didn't live up to my expectations, but it was still a good movie nonetheless. I did actually go back for another viewing just to watch the first 20 minutes of it, and I did, and I left. It didn't actually give me anything extra, so yeah, it was just another decent movie. Yeah, go watch it. Okay, so there's the movie which I just saw the poster of on my app, my cinema app, and I thought, ooh, let's go watch that. It was a movie called Wonder Park, and it was an animated movie about a theme park. And it was actually really good. I enjoyed it. I'm not too sure who made it. I think it was DreamWorks. It may have been DreamWorks. I'm not sure. Anyway, it was really good. Unexpected, decent movie. It's going to tick all the boxes for the kids, so you know it's going to be safe to watch and what have you. And yeah, I enjoyed it. Would I watch it again? No. Is it one to watch? If you've got kids, go watch it. Okay, so The next movie on my list is Us. So this movie, oh my gosh, I like this. This was good. But towards the end, it just left you like, what? It was proper weird. I knew where it was going with the people holding hands across the world kind of thing, but I didn't understand why. What's the point of it? And the movie was just weird right towards the end. And was it fun to watch? Yes, it was. Kind of like Get Out, but slightly different. The acting in it was fine. I didn't really dislike anybody in it. Music, I didn't really notice any. Sound effects obviously took over that. But yeah, it was a good movie. If you get a chance to watch it, watch it. Okay, so the next movie is Dumbo. Yes. Okay, so I wasn't too sure what to think about Dumbo, because I know Disney are doing live action versions of all their movies, and Dumbo I thought they wouldn't be touching, but they did, and I really liked it. It was really good. I think the cinematography was brilliant, the music was good, sound effects, CGI was actually pretty decent. I didn't see many like really dodgy bits, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. That's definitely a movie I can recommend. Okay, so we go from Dumbo to Shazam! Or Captain Marvel Part 2. No, or Captain Marvel Day Zero. Or what? I don't know. Shazam. So Shazam has also been known as Captain Marvel, which isn't news to me, but I was shocked that not many other people knew it. I'm not a DC heroes or villains fan, but obviously I do like the standard Batman, Superman, because they're in the public eye, pop culture and what have you. Obviously Wonder Woman's there, the Flash is there. I don't mind the Flash, I like the Flash. Shazam was somebody I'd only ever heard of or read things of. I've never actually read a comic, so I didn't know anything about the origin or what I could expect from the movie. But the movie was good. It was kind of like Big meets Superman, you could say, and they merged it pretty well. And I really enjoyed it. It was a good movie, and there was like an end credit scene, and they were teasing a couple of things, which is good, and I do hope they make some more movies, because they were good. They weren't like amazing, like the Marvel style movies, but it was really good. It was Marvel-esque because it had a lot of humor in it, and it was less dark, so yeah, in that respect it was good. I would definitely recommend anyone watching it. It's a good movie. It's a good kid buddy movie kind of thing, but one of them's not a kid or is a kid. Anyway, you'll see. Right, so the next movie is Pet Sematary. Ooh, Pet Sematary. Okay, so Pet Sematary is a Stephen King novel, which was made into a movie / mini series, I think, in the early to mid 90s, and it did really well on like the Sci-Fi Channel and things like that, and everybody knows what it is, and it was really creepy. I thought to myself, how are they going to make this version? Is it going to be darker? Is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? So I had to go watch it, and yeah, I really liked it. It was very predictable, obviously, because I'd already seen the original, but it was actually really good. There were a few things done really well in there. Some of the special effects were good, and yeah, it was one of those movies that I think I would love to watch a sequel for. So I'm hoping for it. So go watch Pet Sematary. So here comes the big boy. Avengers Endgame. Okay, so I've avoided talking anything Marvel on my channel for a very, very long time. It's because I love Marvel, and if anybody says anything about my love for Marvel comics or Marvel comic characters, and I get upset over it, I may not do another video on it, but everybody has these strong opinions on their beloved characters, and I would love to do a rundown of my favourite Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, and I might do it at some point, but for now I'm just going to do the ones on this iPad for the review, and I may think about it, but I'm sure a lot of people will want to hear like a 38-year-old talk about which Marvel characters he loves and has loved ever since he was a kid. So I may do that at some point. So let's talk about the big boy, Avengers Endgame. So I watched Avengers Infinity War on my birthday. Avengers Endgame came out around my birthday, and I think I watched it around my birthday. The day before, was it? Or the day after? Can't remember now. But either way, Avengers Endgame was amazing. I can't tell you what was going through my mind. The first thing that I can say that is bad about it is the first part of the movie dragged quite a bit, but that's obviously because we've had the snap, and they're just recapping everything for people that probably haven't watched it. So the first, second and third act are just perfect, and the only parts I would probably cut out are the first few talky bits with the Black Widow. They just dragged on a bit, and obviously they were letting everybody know what was going on since the last movie. It needed to be there for casual viewers, but hardcore viewers are probably going to be the main ones that are going to watch this movie anyway, and they'll fill in the details for anybody that is just a casual watcher. But oh my god, it was brilliant. I cried, or I tried to cry. I tried not to cry when Peter Parker got dusted. Yeah, I got kind of emotional when he said, Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good, and that he didn't want to go. And I just thought to myself, that is Spider-Man. And when they all came back from being dusted, and Spider-Man just swoops past the screen, and it was like, oh my god, it was just brilliant. I think that movie does more fan service than I think any movie's ever done fan service. It's even better than, well, obviously it's going to be better than Ready Player One, but oh my god, was that good? Was that good? Everybody had their own moment to shine in the battle as well as on screen. I can't really put too many faults on it. I did like the jumping around in time, that was quite good. Yeah, it was interesting to see who they killed off and who they kept on. But if you have not seen this movie, go and watch it, please. And I hope it beats Avatar. Okay, so the next movie, before I get too emotional, come on. Detective Pikachu. Oh my god, do not watch this movie. It's 2 and a bit hours of crap that you don't really need. Okay, that was easy. That's my first really bad review. The Hustle. Okay, so The Hustle was good. It's the female version of Dirty Rotten Scoundrels with Michael Caine and Steve Martin. Oh my god, I almost forgot Steve Martin's name. And wow, yes, definitely enjoyed it. It's pretty much a carbon copy, but just with like females in the main roles. So yeah, still good. The actresses they chose for those particular roles, brilliant. I can't fault them, and they do a good service to the story. And yeah, that's definitely a good watch, especially for people that haven't watched the original either. Yeah, you'll definitely like it. It's a really good storyline. The next movie is John Wick 3. Oh my god. Go watch it. I'm not going to say anything else. Okay, so the next movie is Aladdin. So I have a confession for some of my friends, which I've already told them about, and I'm going to tell you now. I have not watched Disney's Aladdin, the animated version. I've seen it on TV and I've flicked through the channels and I probably watched like 2 minutes of it, if that, at a time. So I've probably seen 3 or 4 different scenes at different points in the movie. But apart from that, I did not know anything about it. So when I watched the live action version, I loved it. It was brilliant. Some people say that obviously they've changed a few things to make it more realistic, for live action. But apart from that, everything else is the same, and I think there's one extra song in it. But apart from that, it's pretty much the same. So yeah, good movie. I liked it. Watch it. Alright, so Brightburn. Oh my god, this was a good movie. This is basically, what if Superman came down from Krypton, got with the Kents. The Kents? Yeah, got with the Kents, lived as their son, but then decided to turn evil. And oh my god, it was good. It wasn't amazing like how I thought it would be based on the trailer. I think the trailer obviously had all the best bits, but it was good. And seeing something similar to that come out in the future, I would definitely be up for it. So if there's another sequel coming up for it, then brilliant. I'm gonna watch it. Watch this and watch that. Okay, so we're getting close to the end now, and we've got Godzilla King of Monsters. Oh my god. So I really like the first Godzilla movie, and the very, 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 very first Godzilla movie. Let's just say I've watched all the Godzilla movies, and I even like the Matthew Broderick Godzilla movie, even though he's not much of a creature, he's more of a dinosaur. I like the recent one, which is the follow-up of, and it was good, but you hardly saw Godzilla. You'd see bits of him and it'd be too dark. And these movies obviously lend themselves to being in like pitch black or in the dark or in the rain, because that's how they have to do their CGI, I guess, craply. Or it's to do with like not showing the monsters much. And I see where that comes across, but I don't want to see the human element of the movie. I don't care about the humans really. They're just running around in between, like Godzilla stomping on King Ghidorah and stuff like that. I want to see actual monsters beat the crap out of each other, and I did see it. Yes, I saw it, and I saw more of Godzilla, which was good. Now I know what he looks like, and boy, did they do a good follow-up to the first movie, and they teased the third movie, which is King Kong versus Godzilla, and they do it towards the end of the movie. I'm not going to spoil it because they're already filming it, and you guys will probably already know it was going to happen anyway. But yes, go and watch this. It's better than the first one, and it lines up King Kong versus Godzilla, and it's going to be amazing. So watch it. Okay, so the next movie is Ma or Ma and this is a movie starring Octavia Spencer out of everybody, and she's one scary mother. Seriously, this movie's actually pretty good. It's one of these teen horror movies, and it's just got a completely different premise, and it's really good. You need to go watch it. I'm not going to spoil anything for you. X-Men Dark Phoenix, don't bother watching it. Oh, that's my second bad review. So Detective Pikachu and X-Men Dark Phoenix. Okay, X-Men Dark Phoenix, don't even waste your time. Nobody cares. Jennifer Lawrence didn't even care in the last movie. That's why that movie flopped, and that's why this movie flopped. I'm not putting all the blame on her, but she did it for me in the last one, where she just seemed totally disinterested in being in the movie. She seemed more interested in being in this one, but it's too little too late, I would say. So the next one is Toy Story 4. Why? Okay, so they did Toy Story 4. Okay, they finished it off and Toy Story 3 perfectly, and I liked it. It was brilliant. And for some reason there's a Toy Story 4, so I went to watch it. It was brilliant. There's something they can't do wrong with that Toy Story formula. I'm not going to ruin it for you. It was quite kind of upsetting in places, but it was very funny, and there's some new characters in there which will make you laugh, so go watch it. Okay, so Child's Play, Child's Play, the horror series, was rebooted with Chucky the doll, and he's back, but instead of a good guy doll, he's now a buddy doll. So buddy dolls are like kids' versions of Alexa that you'd carry around as a doll, but it can connect to like all of your smart lights and what have you, your TV and other things in your house. Basically, it's Alexa and what would happen if Alexa goes wrong. And what they should have done is just use that as a premise, not included anything to do with Chucky in it at all, or Child's Play, and just had a completely different, fresh new movie, and it would be fine. Everybody would have loved it. But because they used Child's Play and Chucky the doll, the movie's flopped because it's not what it's meant to be. It's like a PG version of Child's Play, which is not good in any respect. There are some crazy bits in it, like I'm not going to spoil it, but there are some really good bits in it, so do watch it. I recommend it, but I just wish they had called it something else. They should have just called it iBuddy, The Revenge of the Microchips, or something like that. I don't know, what would you call it? You wouldn't take a well-known horror franchise, put a smart device inside it, and then say, okay, go murder people. Although it's interesting, but that's not what the original character is about or how they work. So it doesn't really make sense. You're just watering down your character or destroying the character completely. Now there's going to be two sets of movies. There'll be original Chucky movie, and then there will be the Buddy Chucky movies. What's gonna happen? It's gonna lead to market confusion. I'll be honest with you, and I think that's what's happened with the producers and directors. They don't know what the hell they want. Okay, so rant over. Oh gosh. So I'm just gonna change these two around. So the next movie is Yesterday. So Yesterday is a movie about a guy who gets hit by a bus. This is an English movie directed by Danny Boyle, and it's set in England. And this boy gets hit by a bus when there's a complete reset or a blackout, and everything just resets in the whole world. And the boy, I can't remember his name now. His name was Jack. Yeah, he couldn't understand why nobody knew who the Beatles were, because he did a few references after his accident, and then he did a bit of googling, and he realized that they didn't exist. So something somehow had caused the rest of the world to forget that the Beatles ever existed, and yeah, so comedy ensues, and he decides to write the Beatles songs for the first time, and he becomes this mega superstar, and it's just so much fun going on this journey. So one thing Danny Boyle does really well is taking skinny Indian boys and making them into movie stars, and I think this movie is going to do wonders for the main actor, and obviously the supporting cast was really good as well. I think Sanjeev Bhaskar and Meera Syal were in it, and they were brilliant. Sanjeev, oh my god, yeah. So I think he like suggests things on set, because it's like his mind's just going crazy, but it's such a great movie. Funny. What the hell was that? Yeah, so the movie was funny. It was brilliant. You will definitely love it. So go watch it. It should still be out at the cinema. If it's still not out at the cinema, go and find it. Okay, so the final one, and this is technically the film that came out on the 2nd of July. So it's just gone over the 6-month period. Here's obviously Spider-Man. So Spider-Man Far From Home. Boy, was he far from home. But the movie was brilliant. I loved it. I loved every minute of it. It did seem to drag a bit where he was testing out his new Edith glasses, but it wasn't too bad actually. But I did feel like they were just going from one place to the other just for the sake of getting a different country into the Far From Home thing. Yeah, it was just really good. I liked the fact that Mysterio was Mysterio, and he had the fishbowl helmet and the suit, and it was just so good how they tied everything together to Tony Stark, where Mysterio is actually a collective of people, or technically it's still him, but you could class them as a collective of people, and they were all disgruntled Stark Enterprises or Stark Industries workers, and the main person, obviously Quentin Beck, is the guy who invented the bath system, which you can see at the start of Captain America Civil War, which was like a holographic system. So that kind of plays in to what we see in Far From Home, but a bit more sophisticated. So yeah, it was really good. There was 2 amazing end credit scenes, but as I'm not spoiling anything from any of the movies, I'm just gonna go say watch it. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love every minute of it. Okay guys, so this is my movie list and it's done, and I will be watching other movies, and when I have finished watching them in December, I'll do another video like this talking about the rest. But if you want me to go into any detail of any of these, just drop me a comment in the comment section below, and I'll see if I can help you and give you a full review. And until next time, please like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.